When we picture a deadly disease, we imagine a living, invading army. We think of microscopic organisms violently dividing and spreading through our bloodstream. Because those pathogens are alive, they carry inherent biological vulnerabilities. We can fight them off with our immune systems, target them with antibiotics, or destroy them with heat. But there is a biological killer that ignores every single one of those defenses. It operates with a fatality rate of 100%. We cannot kill it with modern medicine because it is entirely lifeless. This pathogen is called a prion. It is a microscopic, broken piece of biology built from a protein that exists naturally inside the human brain. The danger begins as a structural glitch in our own proteins. If we zoom in to the atomic scale inside a healthy brain, we find a landscape filled with normally functioning protein building blocks. For a protein to perform its healthy function, it must fold into a specific physical shape, seen in this precise three-dimensional structure. Occasionally, a structural error occurs. The protein unspools and incorrectly folds into an abnormal, knotted configuration. That geometric mistake changes the protein's properties. It is no longer a fragile building block. It becomes a structure that withstands extreme heat and medical intervention. It has no DNA, and it cannot reproduce like a living cell. That lack of a traditional cellular target makes this rogue fold an irreversible threat. Scaling up to the cellular environment, this newly misfolded protein now floats through a space crowded with healthy counterparts. The mechanism requires only physical contact. A misfolded rogue protein drifts into a healthy protein. The collision coerces it to instantly copy the rogue's twisted structure. This creates an exponential cascade. One broken protein creates two. Two create four, triggering a rapid chain reaction. Millions of these misfolded proteins begin clumping together, forming indestructible blocks within the skull. These expanding clumps act like microscopic wrecking balls, physically tearing holes straight through the tissue of the brain. Under this physical destruction, the architecture of the mind is degraded, until it resembles a hollow, dying sponge. When we zoom back out to the human scale, those millions of microscopic holes result in a systemic breakdown of the victim's nervous system. This specific cascade is the mechanism behind fatal familial insomnia. The holes in the brain tissue rob the victim of the physiological ability to achieve sleep. The resulting lack of sleep forces the victim into a waking nightmare, eventually leading to severe dementia. Biological functions eventually collapse under the physical destruction of the brain tissue. Once the first protein folds incorrectly, the process cannot be halted. Extreme heat, radiation, and medicine are useless against a threat that was never alive to begin with. A pathogen that isn't alive cannot be killed. When the instructions for our own proteins contain a structural error, the resulting chain reaction is permanent.